Hi, hello, and welcome back to the channel. And honestly, I don't even know how to start this. I think it is very ironic that I am wearing black because I think we are witnessing the death of gaming as we know it. And I know a lot of you here are probably thinking, especially if you're new, Branny, what are you talking about? That is a very bold, dramatic statement. However, I don't think it is because I was, scrolling on Facebook this morning, as you do, whenever I seen a post by comicbook.com that says GTA Online reportedly adding age verification checks ahead of GTA 6. And honestly, in the age that we are in, people absolutely love clickbait and rage bait, and there is so much happening in the news cycle and so much misinformation that's being spread, no matter if it's gaming or if it's coming to world events, whatever. So I tried my best to remain skeptical. However, I ended up finding this article titled, Rockstar Insider Shares Proof of New GTA 6 Age Verification. A Rockstar Games insider has shared what appears to be proof of the developer's plans to introduce age verification checks on Grand Theft Auto 6. Rumors have been swirling about whether the hotly anticipated video game would be affected after the UK government implemented the Online Safety Act earlier this summer. The act, which is designed to protect under 18s from inappropriate content, forces websites containing adult material to introduce mandatory age verification checks. And first of all, for those of you that haven't been here, and for those of you that don't know anything about the Online Safety Act or the Screen Act or whatever acts are rolling out, because it feels like there's a new one by the day. Pretty much they say it's to prevent under 18s from inappropriate content. Let's be real, that's not what it is. That is not what it is. I don't care. I've gotten so much flack for saying that it's censorship under the guise of protecting children, but I hold that stance. Anyway, moving on, it says, Tez2, who is known for being pretty much on the money when it comes to GTA leaks, previously said Rockstar is looking to roll out age checks by the region. Jokes aside, Rockstar is planning to implement age assurance checks in the near future, rolling them out by region, he wrote on X. You may need to verify your age to access GTA Online, or certain features like phone messages, text chat, Snapmatic may be restricted until you verify your age. However, the insider has since taken to social media once again to share screenshots which appear to prove his theory. And at first, like I said, I have tried my best to remain as skeptical as I can about this, because in this day and age, you should not blindly believe anything until you see concrete proof for yourself, right? And I go onto this post with the first screenshot. Look at this shit. In the lower left corner, verify age. Please verify your age to access online features. And then we go on to the additional settings page, verify your age. And then you go again and it says error. An error happened while retrieving the QR code. Please retry. And these very easily, they could be faked. You know what I mean? Because there is stuff like this that goes around all the time whenever it comes to fake screenshots. However, whenever it comes to this dude, Tez, apparently, even according to the article, but I've heard, whenever it comes to GTA leaks, dude is mostly on the money. And I need to look more into this, but that being considered, it makes you wonder. It makes you wonder. But the article goes on and says, Tez shared several screenshots, one of which appears to be the opening screen to GTA Online, with a warning in the bottom left corner asking players to please verify your age to access online features. In another screenshot on the settings page, under the heading of additional settings, there seems to be an option to verify age. In the third image, an error warning has popped up saying, an error happened while retrieving the QR code. Please retry. Sharing the screenshots, he wrote, a preview of age assurance in the game. This is not active yet. Currently, GTA 5 and GTA Online are both rated 18 plus in the UK, but there's nothing to actually stop anyone under that age from actually playing the game. However, the introduction of verification would mean over 18s would need to confirm their age to access the game's online functionality, while those under 18 would not be allowed to play the game online at all. And honestly, I think it's kind of funny because whenever there was a discussion several months ago talking about the price of GTA 6, one being absurd, but also the possibility of there having to be like a subscription to play type of service. And if you think I'm going to pay several dollars a month, okay, just to play a game, if I buy a game, I buy it once. I own it, okay? So if you think I'm paying a subscription to play something in my house, I'm not doing it, but if they were to add this whole age verification thing, which sounds outlandish to a lot of people that don't know anything about what's going on, but however, if they were to do this though, You can't catch me. You are not going to catch me taking a picture of my driver's license to play a game in my own house. Like, no, absolutely not. And I think it's so funny that they're talking about over 18s would need to confirm their age to access the game's online functionality. And this is probably a hot take because obviously it's the Kids Online Safety Act talking about shit online, but it wouldn't surprise me if whenever it came to games like this, if you needed to verify your age to play it, period. Look at Detroit Become Human. Look at all of the weapons that are used in that game. Shit. This is probably a stretch, but look at Minecraft. You know what I mean? Like, you fight mobs. Technically, that's violent. Like, it could be seen as obscene, so just the whole wording of this and the whole wording of everything and the fact that they're even talking about adding age verification in games is absolutely fucking wild. Because if we go back up here in this article to this post by Tez, it says, jokes aside, Rockstar is planning to implement age assurance checks in the near future, rolling them out by region. You may need to verify your age to access GTA Online, or certain features like phone messages, text chat, Snapmatic may be restricted until you verify your age, which is attached with this picture here, which obviously, for those of you that have seen these before, it's game code. And if you look all the way, thank you for verifying your age. You can now access GTA Online. You must meet the minimum age requirement to access GTA Online. This page will automatically update after verifying your age. No access. Verify your age to access Grand Theft Auto Online. And all of this shit. And then store access, verify age. And like I said, I try to be really skeptical of these screenshots. However, though, it's looking a little sketchy. I'm not gonna lie. Like, I'm not trying to fearmonger. However, it's just wild to me. And it says, Rockstar has yet to comment on the subject of age assurances and did not respond to LAD Bible for comment. If the age checks do go ahead, it could make a big dent in the number of players accessing the game from the UK, as a 2023 poll by YouGov found that 71% of Brits who have ever played GTA did so before they turned 18. Meanwhile, as many as 20% confessing to playing one of the games while under the age of 11. Including me. You know what I mean? Like, I played GTA whenever I was really young, and I think it's so funny personally that they're talking about, it could make a big dent in the number of players accessing the game from the UK. If they're adding this, according to Tez, if they're adding this into the game code, you know what I mean? Granted, I might be wrong in this. Maybe they can't specify it for the UK. I don't know. But whenever I'm thinking just in my noggin, right? Like, if they're putting this in the game code, then that'll affect everybody who buys the game. Will it not? And if you're worried about, denting the amount of people who are playing the game, or you're worried about the profit, hear me out. Just don't do it. Just don't do it. And granted, you gotta be really careful, because there was this post over on Reddit that says, regarding misinformation about Rockstar age verification. 2 days ago, a post published here shows a fake alert message from Rockstar stating that you need to provide ID to play GTA Online. We weren't aware at the time that this was fake, so it stayed up until now. Which, granted, I have seen these floating around, but it goes on and says, here's what is currently known about the impact the new UK law will have on GTA Online. The code for age verification is in the game files, but not currently active. What will happen is that you will be directed to a separate web page with a QR code. What happens after that is not currently known, and I'm sure Rockstar will make an announcement when that system goes live. Until then, please don't get too caught up in the understandable outrage you may be feeling. Feel free to discuss it in the comments here. Once again, sorry for not catching that fake earlier. So that being said, we do have to be very careful whenever it comes to misinformation, not just about this, and not just about the gaming aspect of everything, but also what else is going on in regard to that. And to those of you who have been watching my last videos regarding all of this legislation, you know kind of what I'm hinting at. But it's wild though. And considering all of these screenshots that we've seen here, and the fact that according to not just this article, but according to a lot of other sources, Tez is pretty on the money, as the article said, whenever it comes to GTA leaks. So I don't know. I don't know. And I want to remind you not to blindly believe anything unless you see concrete proof for yourself. And obviously, we're not going to know what's going to be happening with this until Rockstar makes an official announcement. But what do you guys think? Because personally, I think it's asinine. Like, it wouldn't surprise me if GTA were to successfully roll this out and people still play the game. Other games would be to follow. You know, and I think it's a slippery slope from there. Obviously, the slope that I've been talking about, it's not like this. It's kind of like this at this point. But if you guys enjoyed the conversation that we had here today, please be sure to like, subscribe, and maybe if you're so inclined, watch another video to spend some more time with your girl. And I will see y'all in the next one. Bye, guys.